When we think of ancient China, we often picture powerful emperors, elegant calligraphy, and military strategy. But what about dating? Yep, love, heartbreak, flirting, and secret crushes all existed back then too, and nowhere was romance more colorful, poetic, and surprisingly relatable than in the Tang Dynasty. So, what was dating like over 1,000 years ago? How did couples meet, flirt, and maybe sneak in a midnight rendezvous? Let's just say, the Tang Dynasty was way more romantic and dramatic than you'd expect. And yes, some of their moves put modern dating apps to shame. The Tang Dynasty lasted from 618 to 907 AD and is often called the Golden Age of Chinese culture. Think of it as the era where poetry was pop culture, fashion was fabulous, and the capital city, Chang'an, was basically the ancient version of New York, Paris, and TikTok combined. It was also a time of relative openness, prosperity, and, get this, flirting in public was not only allowed, it was practically an art form. In Tang China, arranged marriages were still common, especially among aristocrats. But unlike earlier dynasties, love matches, actual relationships based on mutual attraction, were becoming more acceptable. So how did people meet? One word: festivals. There were lantern festivals, spring festivals, moon viewing nights, and all of them gave young people a rare chance to leave their homes, dress up, and mix with the opposite sex in public. It was the perfect excuse to lock eyes with someone cute across a paper lantern glow. Think of it as ancient speed dating, minus the awkward questions. Poetry played a big role too. If you were really into someone, you didn't swipe right. You sent them a carefully composed verse. If they replied with another poem, that's basically, "I like you back" in Tang Dynasty code. Once a couple took interest in each other, the real game began. Courting was all about elegance, subtlety, and impressing through style. Men tried to look dashing in embroidered robes, quoting Confucius and the latest pop poets. Women rocked elaborate hairstyles, flowing silk gowns, and sometimes used a fan to hide a cheeky smile. Love letters were common, but these weren't just notes scribbled on bamboo. We're talking calligraphy scrolls filled with metaphors, moon references, and poetic longing. Imagine someone sending you a DM, but it's 4 stanzas long and talks about how your eyes sparkle like river dew at dawn. Despite all this openness, dating was still tricky. Parents, social status, and reputation were major obstacles. So, some lovers went full Romeo and Juliet, minus the Shakespeare. There were secret meetings in gardens, sneaky glances through silk curtains, and occasionally, a hidden love affair with a palace maid or a traveling poet. There are real stories from the time about women falling in love with musicians, scholars eloping with courtesans, or noble women disguising themselves to attend festivals just to catch a glimpse of someone they adored. Love wasn't always practical, but it was passionate and dramatic. Here's the twist. Tang Dynasty women had more freedom compared to earlier and even later eras. They could inherit property, own businesses, and even ride horses in public. Many were highly educated, well-read, and, yes, actively participated in romantic culture. One famous female poet, Yu Xuanji, wrote openly about her love life, including heartbreak and desire. She didn't wait around for a guy to send a poem, she sent hers first. So while arranged marriages were still the norm, many women were also choosing their partners, or choosing not to marry at all. Scandalous. Of course, it wasn't all romantic moonlit strolls. Some red flags back then? He's only quoting poems he didn't write. Catfishing via poetry. He shows up without a fan or perfume pouch. Big ick. His family wants a bride price the size of a small country. And if a guy tried to impress you with too much Confucianism? Yeah, not the vibe. So, what was dating like in the Tang Dynasty? It was dreamy, poetic, dramatic, and surprisingly relatable. People fell in love at festivals, flirted with poems, and faced the same romantic challenges we do today. Timing, social pressure, and the eternal question of, does he like me back, or is he just really into calligraphy? The Tang Dynasty reminds us that love stories, just like history, are messy, beautiful, and timeless. And speaking of timeless legends, in our next video, we're heading back to the battlefield with one of the fiercest female warriors in Chinese history, Mulan. But this time, we'll uncover the real story behind the legend and what Disney didn't tell you. So make sure to subscribe and join us next time as we separate fact from folklore. Until then, stay curious, stay bold, and maybe write someone a poem today, the Tang way.